Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, and this is going to be another video. All right, from Arrow's Indignation 144. All right, excellent channel. He's constantly putting up videos that can be used for edification, current event, world news. All right, and this one is entitled "Esau Knows It's Over for Babylon and the Glory Days Are Far Gone." All right, and pretty much this man here is speaking about how young people are pretty much withdrawing from America, withdrawing from Babylon the Great. All right, they're not really putting their hopes in this place anymore, okay, because they're realizing that, you know, we've got the bad end of the stick. We got the short end of the stick. All right, it's now to a point where it's what used to be the quote-unquote American dream is now not even really possible in this society anymore. All right, and this guy's going into it, and of course, as always, I'm going to play the video and then bring out some scriptures, and Lord's will is edifying to the elect. All right, so with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Young people have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them, and then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. The incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own a housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, it would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring that people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
Okay. All right. So you saw towards the end of the clip, he said young people are more depressed, more anxious, more obese, more this, more that. All right. And why is it like that? Ultimately, it's the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, because no one who's here on the face of the earth right now is I'll say no one that is here, this is not their first time. Okay, every spirit, the spirit does not die. All right, the flesh dies, the spirit goes up to the Heavenly Father, receives his judgment, and comes back down here to live out his judgment on the earth. Okay, so with that being said, you know, the people, the young people now, they are receiving that punishment from all the things that the generations have done, you know, years and years and years and years and years, especially Esau. Okay, the curses are starting to flip over onto Esau. All right, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get the scriptures. I'm gonna start with the book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 10. All right, this is the beginning of these curses. All right, coming upon the wicked and the Lord. Ultimately, at the end of the day, all right, if you're not with Yahweh Shai, then you're going to be in dire straits. Okay, you're not going to be stable in the time that we're coming into. This is Psalms 32 and 10. It says, "Many sorrows shall be to the wicked." All right, many sorrows. Okay, and that's the wicked of Esau, Edom. These curses that we're under are getting ready to flip and go into him. But not only that, but also our own people. All right, 2/3 our own people. Okay, if you want to partake in wickedness, you want to follow after the ways of Babylon the Great, many sorrows to you. All right, it says, "But he that trusteth in Yahweh, mercy shall compass him about." Okay, so he that trusts in the Lord, and you show that you trust in the Lord through your actions. Okay, You seeking out this knowledge, wisdom, understanding while it's readily available. All right, you're playing your role as the hopeful elect according to the prophecies. All right, you're putting your faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai instead of in Babylon. Okay, it says mercy shall compass him about. All right, but once again, many sorrows shall be to the wicked. Okay, so once again, it's just really, it's just really that time where, once again, the Lord is bringing the beginning of the end of this world. All right, of the world of Esau. Okay, what comes next? Jacob. All right. Matter of fact, since I said that, let's get that right quick too. 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Okay. Simple. All right. Let's continue on. Deuteronomy 30th chapter. All right. It says, starting verse 1, "And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse." It's just speaking to the children of Israel. All right, we saw the time of the blessing, back in the old days. Okay, and then of course you had the 40-year reign of King David and Solomon. Okay, "which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God had driven thee." All right, so we faced the blessing, and we had the blessing and then the curse, and we know what the curses were. All right, going into captivity, all right, being enslaved, losing our heritage, all right, being at the bottom, being the tail and not the head, being lended to and not lending out. All right, Deuteronomy 28, these are the curses, and we definitely went through them. Okay, it says that thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy God had driven thee. So that the Israelites are what? Waking up, remembering themselves, and calling the curses to mind. Like, oh, okay, like, dang, man, this is why we're in this predicament. This is why we're, you look at history, hundreds of years we've been at the bottom. All right, second-class citizens now at this point, really. Okay. So what's going to happen after we call them to mind? It says, verse 2, "And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day." So now what are the children of Israel going to do? They're going to wake up, remember themselves, and start obeying the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. Of course, we're still in the sinful flesh, but through the Holy Spirit, we are able to attain to the righteousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and to his law. All right. It says, so shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Okay, so now, as it says in Romans the 7th chapter, all right, let's go ahead and get it right quick. It tells you, Romans the 7th chapter tells you that you would, let me see, I don't want to butcher it. Okay, Romans chapter 7 and verse 22. "For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man." Okay, so through the Holy Spirit, you delight in the law after the inward man. So you're returning back, and your heart is being circumcised, which ultimately, that's what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai wanted from the beginning. Jeremiah 4:4 says, "Circumcise yourselves to the Lord, and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings." And that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. And this is just the beginning stages of that destruction that he's bringing upon, Babylon the Great, and 2/3 our own people. It says, "Then," that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God has scattered thee. Okay, so that's that great second. I don't exactly want to call it a second Exodus, but that's that great deliverance. Okay, "If any of thine be driven out of the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers." Okay, so enter into that new covenant. "And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live." Now this is where we are. This is where, what we're starting to see here. Verse 7, "And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." Okay, so that's what we're seeing in that video clip. Okay, we're seeing the Lord start to flip these curses around, and now our enemies are starting to be, that evils are rising up upon them, and they don't really know where it's coming from. Okay, but we understand the scriptures. It's coming from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. 2 Ezra 5:1. Okay, it says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, a token is like a sign from the Lord. Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number. All right, this is going to be time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, the great tribulation is what the Christians call it. And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Okay, so you're going to have Jacob's trouble and the famine of the word, the way of truth, which is the prophecies. Why? Because the men of the Lord are not going to be out there on the highways and byways anymore, because they're not giving you no truth in the Christian church. They're not really telling you, all right, what's getting ready to come. They're not preparing Jacob. Okay, that's still part of these Christian. It's still part of the Christian congregation. Your pastor's not telling you what the Lord is really bringing. Okay, he's not going into Jacob's trouble. He's not preparing you, to be pilgrims upon the earth. All right, to prepare you to get ready and leave everything at a moment's notice. He's not telling you none of these things. All right, let's get his precept on that. Ezekiel 13:4. O Israel, okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. All right, so they not telling the children of Israel who they are. They're not telling them why these things are coming. They're not telling them that these things are coming at all. All right, they're not preparing them to stand in the battle of the day of the Lord, which is going to be fierce. All right, so what's going to happen when that time comes and the prophets aren't out there anymore? The way of truth is going to be hidden, because really we're the only ones that are really giving warning. We're really the only ones that are giving warning and telling you what the Lord is getting ready to bring. Okay, it says, and the land shall be barren of faith, because according to Christians and the different religions of the world, right? When you're serving the Lord, you're supposed to be prosperous and all these kind of things, and they really don't get it. See, the Lord, he can make you rich at any time that he wants to. All right, but it ain't about that. Okay, the true servants of the Lord are going to be suffering in this time, and while everybody else is rejoicing, and then it's going to flip. While everybody else is suffering, the true servants of the Lord are going to be rejoicing. See, they're not telling you that, though. So the land shall be barren of faith, because when everything starts to hit the fan, the people, they're going to think that, oh, God has forsaken us, right? Which really it's been part of the movie the whole time. If you have been listening to the true men of the Lord, then you would know that, all right? And technically, yeah, the Most High is going to forsake you, okay? Because it tells you in Proverbs, the 1st chapter, that because you despise his counsel and you would none of his reproof, that when the time of your calamity strikes, he's going to mock at you. He's not going to listen, okay? 2 Ezra 5:2, it says, but iniquity, sin upon sin, wickedness shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And this is why you see the young people depressed, sad, as he said, everybody's on pills, all these kind of things, because evil, right? Evil causes sorrow. As we read earlier, Psalms 32:10, many sorrows shall be to the wicked. All right, and that's what our people, our young people, that's pretty much what they bask in. Okay, they enjoy evil and wickedness. So, it's going to be, it's leading to them being depressed, sorrowful. And then, of course, also, not only that, but, also this right here. Okay, why are people feeling that way? Because a wicked people is ruling over the earth. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Ain't nobody rejoicing right about now. Okay? But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And who's ruling over the earth? A base man. Okay, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So what are people going to do? They're going to mourn, because he, as that guy said, all right, he said that they're remaining rich, and they're getting rich off of our credit card. Okay, and that's leading to extreme poverty, hopelessness. All right, and young people, man, to the point where people don't even want to have children anymore, because the world is so uncertain. There was a time where having children was like the thing to do. It's like everybody was excited. I can't wait till I get older, have a family, all that kind of stuff. You don't even want to do that no more, because it's like, the world is so uncertain. Even people who don't believe in the Bible know that Babylon is collapsing. Okay, they know that World War III is imminent, but we're telling you how to escape it, and you don't want to hear. So when that time comes, The way of truth is going to be hidden from you. Okay. It says, let's get that again. 2 Ezra 5:2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest. So you ain't seen nothing yet. It's gonna get a million times worse. Or that thou hast heard long ago. So even the times that you heard about the worst of human history, all right, it's not going to compare to what we're coming into. All right, cannibalism, race wars, class wars, civil wars, economic woes, mass deletion everywhere, man. All right, none of these things are going to compare to what's getting ready to come. It says, "In the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly." So, having root, what is that? What is that symbolic of? Like being stable, okay, being strong. The land that you think of as stable and strong, America, Babylon the Great. People think, oh, nothing can happen here, because this place has never really seen warfare like other nations, right? But what's going to happen to it? It says shall suddenly be wasted, all right, out of the blue. It's like the Lord is going to flip a switch, and the floodgate is going to just that wall is just going to drop. It's going to explode, and the floodgates are going to, floods are going to come in, man. And that's the flood of death, destruction, and then eventually a nuclear fire that the Lord is going to use to cleanse the earth. Okay. But listen to this. It says, "But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And blood shall drop out of wood." Okay. And people, all right, people are likened unto trees. Okay. Let's get a precept on that. Luke chapter 6. Somewhere around about verse 43. All right. So people are likened unto wood. Okay. So it says, "For a good tree bringeth forth for a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For out of thorns men do gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh." All right, so people, it started off with a metaphor of, trees bringing forth fruit, but it's really referring to people. Okay, so when it says that blood shall drop out of wood, all right, going back, okay, 2 Ezra 5:5, it says, "And blood shall drop out of wood." That means that the people, okay, a lot of blood is going to be shed from the people, man. And it tells you that in let's get it, Zephaniah 1:17. Okay, and why is the Lord going to do it? Because these are evil trees. Most of the people on the earth are rotten, moldy, dead, decaying trees. So the Lord's going to cut them down. Zephaniah 1:17. "And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung." Okay. So the blood is going to drop out of the wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. All right. So who's going to rule? Jacob. Okay. Who they don't expect to. He shall rule that they look not for upon the earth, because nobody is expecting the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians to be the next rulers. All right. They think it's going to be China or Russia. All right. And they are probably going to come in and take over America for a period of time. But that's part of this system, though. That's part of this world. All right. After that, after Esau's world is destroyed, Jacob is up next. Okay. It says, "And the fowls shall take their flight away together, and the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish." Okay. And that's another metaphor. People are likened unto fish. Okay. And Sodom, you know what Sodom and Gomorrah was known for? All right. Sexual perverseness. Okay, confusion, wickedness. So the sea, which represents the sea of people, all right, shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Okay, so the earth, it's gonna be a lot of confusion. Things are gonna change in the earth in a way that people don't even expect it. Okay, it's gonna get out in the next verse right here. It says 2 Ezra 5:8. "There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall often be sent out again, and the wild beast shall change their places." So you're going to have animals relocate. You're going to have, lions, mountain lions and stuff coming out of the woods, eating people, bears, all right, roaming through the cities. All right, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Okay, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. All right, and wit shall hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Okay, so it's gonna be mass confusion. You know, everything that the way that you expect things to be on the earth is pretty much gonna change. Okay, animals are gonna move out of their places. You know, including ocean animals. You know, I mean, it's gonna be crazy, man. We're probably gonna see animals that we didn't know existed come out of the forest and be in the cities attacking people. I mean, it's gonna be wild, man. Pretty much evils are gonna be on every corner, no matter where you go. Okay, it says, and it said that an understanding would draw itself into its secret chamber. Okay, and there's a scripture right here. That secret chamber is with the Lord. So let's get this right quick. Psalms 91:1. It tells you, it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, under his protection. Okay, so that knowledge, wisdom, understanding is going to go into his secret places, which is the temple of the Lord. All right, the temple of the Lord and the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I got to qualify that statement. The secret place is really the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, but you know, it's going to be with the men, all right, in that day, and that's going to be their stability. Okay, if you have that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you're going to dwell and abide under the shadow of the Almighty. It's going to keep you stable in that time. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And I'm going to get that whole chapter, and I'll come back to this. I'll come back to it. Okay, 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 10, it said, and it shall be sought of many and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Okay, so unrighteousness and wickedness, because people are going to say, like I said, the Lord is forsaken. And, you know, imagine when there's no 911. Imagine when the cities are cast down. People are going to do whatever they want to do. All right, so you're going to see, you know, like if you want to see what I'm talking about, watch the movie The Book of Eli. Okay, you know, it's an example of that. All right, you had just people just doing whatever they wanted to do, man. People joining up in gangs, attacking people, raping women, you know, stealing, robbing, spoiling. Okay, we're going to see that. It says, one land shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say no. So it's metaphorical speaking, as if lands could speak. They're going to say, is there any righteousness in you? And the other land's going to say no. It says, at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. Okay, so, you know, everything that people are going to put their hands to is going to fail. Okay, because the Lord, they're going to find out that ultimately the Lord is the one that sustains you. All right, let's get a precept on that. Actually, I'll hold this. Let's get a precept on that real quick. Let's go to John chapter 4 and verse 34. Actually, Salaki. Matthew 4 and 4. All right, people are going to realize that without Yahweh Shem Shai, that they're through. Because right now, see, Esau, he's telling people, well, I can create water, I can create food, GMOs and all these things. So people are comfortable, they feel safe under Esau's rulership. But he's about to be taken down out of the blue. Okay, so they're going to find out just how much they need the Lord, but it's going to be too late. Matthew 4 and 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. Okay, so you're not going to live based off of nothing except for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If you're breathing, it's because the Lord has allowed you to breathe. And the scary thing about it is that it could be either to put you to death later, he could be reserving you to judgment, or for salvation. All right, let's get Isaiah 33 and 6. Isaiah 33 and 14. Okay, it says the sinners in Zion are afraid. Okay, the wicked, they're gonna be in fear right now. It's all good. They're tough. They're hard. They're gangsters. They're thugs. You know, they're boss bees and all that. Right, but they're gonna be afraid in that day. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. It says, who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? All right, 2/3 of our own people. Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? the wicked of our own people, and of course these heathen nations and Esau. There's no, they through, man. They're not gonna escape. But look at this, okay? But for the righteous, all right, for the elect, it says, he that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, all right, that's talking about the elect, okay? Because you live according to the law, statutes, commandments, right? And then you also go out there and speak the word to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you prophesy, all right? It says, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, okay? Those who've been calling out the elites for all their wickedness, calling out our own people for all their wickedness, okay? That shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, can't be paid off. You ain't got no 501c3. That stoppeth his ears from the hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. It says, he shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. So the Lord is going to make sure he's protected. Okay. It says, bread shall be given him, and his waters shall be sure. Okay. And that represents sustenance. Okay. So in that time, he who does all these things, he walks uprightly. All right. He walks righteously. He speaks uprightly. He despises the gains of oppression. He doesn't take bribes. All right. What does it say? His defense shall be the munitions of rocks. All right. The earth is going to rise up to defend him because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be with that man. All right. It says, bread shall be given him and his waters shall be sure. So everyone else is going to be in confusion in this time. But those that are of the elect, all right, they're going to know exactly what's going on. And the Lord is going to be making sure that they're protected. Let's get a little bit more. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. 2nd Ezra is the 6th chapter now. And verse, let's see. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 18, it says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth. So this is the Lord, this is his visitation. All right, that's why these things are coming. Okay. It says, and will begin to make inquisition of them. All right. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. All right. So he said, I'm going to make inquisition of them, meaning like I'm going to search out the hearts of everyone and give exactly what each and every person on the earth deserves. That's why you see these things coming, man, because like I said, the people on the earth, the vast majority are evil trees and they deserve to be cut down. But the Lord's not just going to put you to death. That's too easy. Okay. You have to, it's like a balance. All right. All the evil that you've done, incarnation to incarnation, you have to pay for that. So you have to pay off that debt. So a lot of people got a debt of wickedness that they got to pay. And you got to pay that through suffering, through destruction, and then ultimately being deleted. All right. So he's going to make inquisition of them and what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. Okay. Mostly Esau, but 2/3 of our own people, especially our women, are partaking in a lot of wickedness, man. All right. So a lot of women, they're going to, it ain't going to be pretty for them. All right. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. Okay, because the heathen nations have been afflicting Zion. And they helped forward that affliction. As it says in, that's why these evils are multiplying, man. Okay, Esau, he's the head of it. But, all right, look at this. But the rest of the nations, they're going to get it too. Zechariah 1:15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. See, they're at ease right about now. That's what I'm saying. See, we're suffering, but they're at ease right about now. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So they made it worse. So now what's going to happen to them? All right, the heathen, what's going to happen to them? They're going to get, going to drink of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away, this is the beginning of it, shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. All right. So the books and going into the, this different seals being opened, different plagues and all these kind of things, the books shall be opened. The prophecies are gonna speak and they're not gonna lie. Okay. But they're for an appointed time, like it tells you in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right. But they're gonna be open. Okay. And that's gonna be the beginning of the end right there. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. All right. So once again, the places that people take root and they think is safe, and all that's gonna be your false sense of security in Babylon the Great is gonna be completely taken away at a moment's notice. Fearfulness is gonna surprise the hypocrites. Okay, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. They're gonna know, okay, yeah, that trumpet represents war. All right, it represents a sound of battle. All right, people are gonna be like, oh shit, damn, what are we gonna do? Because they're not expecting it. Right now, it's all circus and bread, fun. Let's just have fun all the damn time. Let's never, it ain't never about repenting for your sins, turning back to the Lord. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. They ain't thinking about that. So when that trumpet sounds, they're going to suddenly be afraid. It's going to come out of the blue. But see, those that have been preparing for that, all right, those that listen to the prophets, all right, they're not going to be afraid. They're going to be rejoicing, actually, because they know that salvation draweth nigh. It says, and at that time shall friends fight against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still. All right, so that means no water. Okay, that's famine. And in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. All right. So I'm going to close out with that. All right, Lord's will was edifying. That being said, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, Shalom, on to the next one.